Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of the North Star podcast. Today, we got my good friend and old friend, Jonah Swanson. And I just want to thank Jonah for coming on for today because he's going to be talking about a little bit of personal life and his story and just where he is today and how he got here. And I really think you guys will like this one. So welcome, Jonah Swanson. Thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure, bro. I've honestly been looking forward to this for a while. And when you asked me, I'm like, no way, really? But I'm down. I'm totally down. A little nervous, but hey, not too much. But
that's good, man. I just I'm gonna just start off by kind of explaining how me and Jonah know each other. Me and Jonah have actually known each other for a long time.
How long do you think?
Not grade.
What was our first team together?
8,
we played
9,
sports
10.
together.
Yeah, baseball. Probably when we were 10, 12
like
years old. No,
Pee-wee?
Mosquito.
Oh yeah, Pee Wee Red team.
Yeah. So 15 years?
Oh, longer maybe, yeah. 15 to 20.
Yeah, and me and Jonah have had an interesting relationship over the years. It's shifted a lot, but you know what? I think the big thing that me and Jonah have realized is people grow and things go we go through different times in life, and I'm glad that me and Jonah could be friends.
Totally, man.
We can come together, and it's a little bit different now in our relationship. So
it's a mutual respect.
Yeah, exactly, right.
And the fitness thing overlaps, and
yeah,
I love it. You love it.
And then I know that's how we kind of got reconnected a little bit more. Is we were talking about fitness and you getting into your journey, and the big thing here is you've had a really interesting story in the last I would say 5 years roughly, right? You would say 5 years.
I'd say from graduation.
Yeah, lots have shifted for you, and I really wanted to get you to talk about adversity, but also going through the process that you did with your story about streaming and how that's shifted now. But I want to start there, and then we'll play off just kind of I want you to talk a little bit about crypto as well, just so that you also can. I haven't had anyone do crypto stuff, and I know that's very, very
crypto.
Very popular right now, and I think a lot of people are confused on how it works, and I think that would be a really cool avenue to take down.
I'll share the few insights I have.
Yeah,
they're not many though. It's not anything.
We'll be crypto for dummies, so we're good.
Sure, it's really not for children.
Yeah, but it's fine. I think that's good. That's a good place to start. So,
sure.
But yeah, Jonah, just talk to me about the streaming stuff. First, just give us a background of what you used to do, how it all happened, when you started, why you started streaming, and I would say, talking to you about it, you were a successful streamer when you did it, and you made a living out of it, and how did that all become?
Well, I guess backstory. I'll go to the beginning. I guess.
Yeah.
Go to I was an athlete, baseball, volleyball through school. Relatively decent, and I got to the point where I had to choose between one or the other. I chose baseball and played till my senior year, and then I was I'm burnt out, done, kind of left in a not so professional fashion. I kind of just ghosted, and I was I'm good. Mom, sorry, I'm good. Move on, and then graduate high school, and everyone's in that, you're 17, 18. What do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do? Yeah. And then what do? You sign up for some courses at the local college and
try them.
Criminology was interesting to me, psychology, so I went into that, did a nice whole 2 semesters. Didn't show up to many classes, never opened my books. Passed though, thankfully. And then I was I need to pivot. This is miserable. I was sleeping in till noon. I had no structure. I had no purpose. I didn't know. I felt I was no purpose at all. I felt I was living the life I'm supposed to be living, and the cookie cutter, finish high school, go to university, play sports and stay active, and and I was fed up, and I was depressed probably, and definitely not in a dark way, but just it was just what's happening, what am I doing? I'm just kind of floating felt lost for sure. Yeah. It's the easier way to put it. Then I pivoted, and then I was I signed up for some UX design course. UX design is the designing web pages, apps, more techie thing, right? Moved to Vancouver for a whole month. It was a 3-month program. Moved there for a month, and I was I'm good. All my students were or not my students, all my classmates were 30 plus with their degrees, multiple degrees, and we're supposed to go knock on door to door and get app ideas and build it. I have nothing. I had my high school diploma, that was it. But during this time, I guess I should backtrack again. I've been a gamer my whole life since I was like 2. Super Nintendo, PC games, floppy disk, the whole 9.
We used to game together.
Did we?
Yeah.
Dude, I have no memory. Too many games.
Baseball.
Too many lobbies were
I was
logged into.
baseball tank 10 on
I remember.
PS3,
That's
bro.
funny. I think I was like a boss 911 or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That was like long time ago.
Jonas Bonaz was a good one. But okay, sorry. Backtracking again. The whole time, athlete, right? School. But I never enjoyed it. I was decent. Whatever. I maybe could have gone to a Div 3, Div 2, maybe. Never loved it. Passion was not there. I just did it because I was good at it. You know, make the parents happy, and that's what you do. Yeah. But the whole time I would play games. So when we had a baseball doubleheader, I was like, I could be ranking up right now, or I could be whatever. Can I swear?
Yeah.
I'd be shitting on people online, whatever. And that's what I was like, that's what gives me dopamine, you know? But as a kid, you're like, there's nothing will come of this.
Yeah.
But I was always intrigued by that. Ever since high school, I've been watching streamers, watching games at a high level, professional, casual, whatever it may be. And I found myself during the college days and into the 3-month UX design program, I was like ruining my sleep schedule just watching streamers. Because I just found out what Twitch was in like grade 12. And I was just obsessed with watching streamers, Call of Duty streamers. This is before Fortnite became a thing. We'll touch on that in a bit. But yeah, I would just watch always. Never did any homework. I would just watch. And yeah, and then I was like, Mom, I want to drop out of this course. And I want to play games and stream. And she's like, you got to do this right. So I had to write up she motivated me to write up like a business plan, every avenue I could go down. At the time it was Call of Duty, and I wrote, this is my plan. I'm going to play Call of Duty on stream for 4 to 5 hours. I'm going to get these clips and post to YouTube and post to Instagram, or Reels and TikTok weren't a thing then, and this is, I'm going to do it. And I can enter Call of Duty tournaments, find a team, there's prize money. I could play online wagers and the whole 9. I laid it all out for her and I said, give me 6 to 12 months. And, 6 to 12 months go by, and I didn't think it was going to happen in 6 to 12 months. I'm trying to buy myself time because I'm also a kid. I'm like, I get to play games all day. You know what I mean?
This is a job? Like, this is like...
I mean, it was a job. Like, I was making no money, but fortunately my mom is amazing and beautiful and very generous, and she's like, do it. There was never any resistance ever, really. Like, once I made that, I want to do this.
And you showed her that you could do it.
I showed her I could do it, and that's the thing for her. Even now, I talk about this day how I'm grateful she let me, because she's more of a traditional, and she pushed me to go to school and university. But I think what for her, it was seeing me apply myself to something, whether it was sitting in the basement playing games, that I was streaming, I was talking to the odd viewer, I was trying to engage, I was watching streams, which actually subconsciously I was learning, like how to interact with chat, pacing, and being charismatic and holding attention, all that's skills you just kind of pick up on watching streamers or watching people talk in general. But yeah, that's what got me into it. And do you always want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going. Like, keep talking. So like, I think I think the biggest thing for me that I really wanted to hear you talk about too is like the avenue now of like, you started. You got your plan down with your mom. You like figured it out. You like, now you're like, okay, now I got to make a living on this. Like,
no, this is it.
This is it. Like, this is what I'm doing.
This is it. This is what I essentially was like doubling down. I was like, this is what I want to do. And I just think looking back to like that moment, I remember we were in a restaurant in Vancouver, and I still lived in the apartment out there, and it was like a turning point. This is who I am. This is what I want. And ever since then, it's like I have zero regrets.
Yeah.
Like, even if it didn't work out, it's like, this is what who Jonah is, what he wants. Do it. It wasn't for anyone else. It wasn't, oh, yada, yada, yada. You shouldn't do that.
I want to make all this money.
And there's like a confidence, man, that comes with that. Like, now it's like, I don't care. Like, sure, I trade crypto now. Ooh, like, I don't give a, I don't care. Like, it's just like, this is interesting to me, so I'm going to do it, period. And I think that's how everyone should live, honestly. Because I think if I died tomorrow, if I died in 30 years, I'd think, yeah, man, I didn't go the university route. I hated it the entire time. I was like, you did what you wanted. You bet on yourself.
You followed on your passion.
Exactly. And you want me to go how it developed from there, I assume? Yeah,
like just talk about like how you became, the struggles that you had to become. I think nowadays, man, like you can pretty much make a job out of anything.
Totally. It's almost like too much. Like there's too many.
There's like
avenues.
too many options.
You almost have like
it's almost a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
But yeah, so 6 to 12 months, I was like, okay, I bought myself some time and I want to do this. And whether it was being a degenerate and playing till 4 a.m. or getting on my shit and getting on a good schedule and being more structured with it. I was just learning as I go, essentially. I just kind of put myself in there, started streaming, started from a little shitty MacBook Air that was just for school. And I remember I started and I would tilt the camera to my TV, like the face cam on the Mac, tilt it to the TV and use the mic laptop as it, because I didn't know. It was like PlayStation 4 TV, and I would tilt it at a perfect angle where it captured just the TV. I didn't know anything. But yeah, you learn the craft slowly, and I did that with minimal viewers, like probably the first, basically there's Twitch affiliate is the first like unlock on Twitch. I was a streamer on Twitch. And affiliates, if you average 3 viewers. So I would like have a phone open. I'd tell a friend that I could trust that I knew wouldn't make fun of me, because at the time I was insecure about it. I was like, I was taking a leap of faith, and people are going to talk their shit. Because if people don't understand something, they're gonna shit on it for sure.
Well, and I think gaming isn't like what people have ever thought was a career.
Now though, kind of is.
Yeah, 100%.
But then it was like, yeah, you fucking loser. Whatever, rightly so. Speak your piece. But anyways, I was grinding for Twitch affiliate, which is like when you get your subscribe button, how you can earn income, right? If you got viewers in there and people that wanted to support you. And I remember I think it was 10 months before I had 3 average viewers, so nobody. My phone, my computer, which is 2 viewers. Yeah. And then it was 12 months of nothing. I'd be playing games with friends. They come in here and there, but you need to like average that consistently, right? And not everyone can show up, or homies can always have their phone open on you, whatever. Then it was another 2 years. 1 year in. This is probably 2016. I think I started in November 2016.
Okay.
And then say a year and a half of like nothing. Got my affiliate badge, cool, yada yada. And then I decided to go to a Call of Duty event in California. I was like, Mom, I just want to go, because I was watching it all the time. I knew all the players. I was a fan. I wasn't. Yeah, you're like, I want to go. I wasn't sitting on my couch with a jersey, but that was my sports essentially. Still is, even to this day. And I went down to a tournament. I was like, I'm gonna watch. I was good at Call of Duty. I was trying to play Pro COD at the time, and I'm gonna go watch, and maybe I'll meet some people. And what do you know? Some guy who is Vancouver, British Columbia in his bio. He was at the event. It's like at Call of Duty World League Anaheim, which is where it was. That's the tournament. And I just messaged him. I linked up, and then that's where I had my first team and started practicing them. And there was more viewers and people, and
yeah, you get.
They liked me. More. I was good. I was hard carrying online a little bit because I was nice. And then they get in my stream, and they have friends that they play games with, and
they're inviting them.
So instead of 3 viewers, I was getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for a while. The professional COD route, we got smacked. Horrible. I was the carry online. I showed up to LAN. It's different on LAN. The connection's different. You're in person. You have shoes on. Like completely different environment. There's a crowd.
Yeah, you're
not like a huge crowd, but there's people around.
Not in your house.
Completely different. I never like accounted for that. I was like, oh, I'm nice. I'll be fine. It's smoked. I was the worst of the team. Like horrible. Whatever. They weren't like mad, but it was just funny how that played out. I thought it was good. That happened. You get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 12 viewers, say. And then we tried one more tournament, flew down to Dallas, Texas, got smacked there. And that's right after when Fortnite was released. And I found myself obsessively watching Fortnite.
Oh, interesting.
While I was competing in COD, so they didn't like that. They were like mad. It wasn't a discussion, but I knew they were watching COD trying to get better, and I was just grinding Fortnite. I was watching Ninja just grind Fortnite with Drake and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know the timeline, but I was watching Ninja like in bed, staying up late. What do you know? I get sucked in watching. And then I got home from the tournament. I was like, I'm done. Fortnite it is. And then again, another year and a half of Fortnite getting better. You start on controller, so you upgrade your setup. Trying to get better at the game. And what do you know? It was a year and a half in, and let's call it 2.5 years into streaming of literally nothing, maybe $50 a month here and there, just from people feeling generous one day, gifting subscribers and all that.
What were you doing out? Like, were you also working something else at the time?
Yeah, I was delivering some pizza at a local shop, and amazing job. Still work there to this day, actually. I had a stint in the middle, but yeah, it was my high school job. As soon as I got my license, I was like, I'd love to deliver pizza. It seems like free cash.
What do you like? Actually, I'm just gonna pause the story, but like,
Pivot
what do
away.
You love about it? Like, I've never done that. I worked at like a movie theater, like.
I wouldn't say love it. Like, I don't love. Oh my god, pizza sauce.
Yeah. But what is like?
It's low effort, good cash.
Okay, so that's.
And I like driving. Like I like
chilling.
driving, listen to music, singing my heart out,
Yeah.
listen to podcasts. Yeah, man, it's make your minimum wage and tips, and it's low effort. Like, it's a lazy man's job for sure.
How many
And
hours do you work?
back then,
Yeah, like what's a typical pizza?
it would be like
delivery shift?
it's like a 4:30 to 10:30 if I closed.
Okay.
So like a 6 hour, you make your $100 in wage, $100 in tips.
Do you get gas money?
Back then we did, yeah.
Not anymore.
You get like $1 per delivery or something. Not anymore. Inflation, small business.
They're like,
yada,
nah.
yada. Yeah. So I was doing that. I was
Doing that plus
streaming in the morning.
deliver
Go
pizzas.
to pizza at 4, and then sometimes I'd stream after work and stay up till 3 a.m. Sleep till 11. Stream 11 to 4, and
It'd repeat.
basically, yeah. Obviously, it wasn't like a set
Yeah.
schedule work, but yeah, I stream between my shifts essentially. So yeah, that's how I was making by there and saving up money. Luckily, I live in my parents' basement, and like I said, my mom didn't force me to pay rent or anything during the 6 to 12 months or a couple of years or whatever. But the reason it started with a 6 to 12 month window and then continued and she just kept letting me go is because she saw I was passionate and I was
Like you were trying. It
I
wasn't.
was
you were
grinding. I was putting my heart into it. And I've never like applied myself like that. Baseball, I was good at. I never like trained extra.
You never really like.
No, I was
yeah.
I love being. I'm on the bench today. Fantastic.
Yeah, I
like,
remember
dude,
that.
you know, like, it was a meme.
Yeah.
But like I don't think I was benched because I was bad. It was just like,
Jonah's okay with not playing.
yeah. I'm like, my mom would be upset, but I'm like, I'm good. This is great. I don't want to be in the sun. I'm getting burnt. I'm fair skinned, Those are the days, man. Honestly, I remember I was playing Clash of Clans on my phone in the dugout. Just to point, I loved games, man. Still, like, yeah. But yeah, I was applying myself. She's like, do your thing. She saw I was happy. She saw, I was just doing it. And she had the foresight to see, like, that's what's important, which is shouts out mom for that. I didn't see it like, oh yeah, I'm applying myself here. I guess it's just a byproduct of, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fortnite comes along and whatever, I was grinding solo Fortnite Battle Royale and just grinding wins. I was trying to get my stats really high, whatever, on these stat leaderboards online. And I was grinding up there. I played in a couple tournaments. The first tournament ever, I placed like 19th in, I think, North America or something like that.
That's cool.
But it wasn't like against, it was just public lobbies against
just
Joe
whoever.
Schmo.
Yeah.
And whoever get the most wins in like 10 games got ranked. And I got 19th North America. I was like, oh, I'm pretty good at this. But then competitive Fortnite became like you're going against actual competitive players. But yeah, and that was and I would say in that time it was like Fortnite was popping off, so my viewership grew, but it was still like 10 to 20 viewers max. But it would be like regulars now,
Yeah, it's
and
like
they'd
consistent.
be like, oh, I have 10 subs, so now it's a consistent $45 a month US, So I was like, okay, this is cool. And then maybe somebody got a big paycheck
Yeah.
and they give me like whatever 20 subs and it's, that's $100 a month for me. It's like, wow, okay, you kind of see it trickling in, which was awesome. It was like I never really, the plan going in was to eventually be successful and make money doing it,
Like make a living.
which is kind of a
Yeah.
shitty way to start. Like it was a passion, but also I had the plan to
make money.
which I think it's better to start at just pure passion and just money's a byproduct. But I had kind of the mindset I want to make money, which maybe is a fault, maybe it isn't, maybe it motivated me, I don't know. But yeah, that's where I learned to interact with my chat, my few viewers, getting a few more viewers in. It's hard to play game at a high level and look to your other screen and read chat and form a conversation and like remember their name and remember, oh, like how's work today, man? You work in banking, right? Like you either like I was good at remembering those things. So that was a skill I developed slowly. It's just like I guess you're multitasking. Like
it's like retention, bro, in a business.
At the end of my streams, my brains were fried.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I couldn't even fried, dude. Like I'd be up nights and I could see like just colors in my brain because it's like Fortnite's like so, you know what I mean? It's like my receptors or something is off.
Probably can sleep well.
No, dude.
Just like...
But I learned those things that I think prepared me for what happened later on. What happened later on is
you tell the story of how like this all
here we go
blew up.
This is where.
This is a cool.
See, I'm tempted to say blow up, but it was pretty drastic.
It was
I'll give you
drastic.
I'll give you numbers and all that. But yeah, my life changed definitely in a week. I was doing the solo thing, and there's a thing called solo squads in Fortnite. So instead of going solo, you were in 1v1v1v1, 100 players in a lobby. Solo squads is you're going in as alone, but you're playing against squads of 4. So like you're 1v4ing everybody, and obviously anyone who knows remotely about games, that's difficult. 1v4 in any sport game, whatever. because you gotta be nice. And my buddy Travis, shouts out Travis. He's a buddy I told Calvin here about. Travis, great guy, and he's like, Jonah, I love watching you play solo squads. It's entertaining because it's like high risk, high reward. Like, sure, I'm gonna lose 10 games in a row, but the games you win, you got like 20 plus kills, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I started. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. It's hard though mentally, just dropping into a game, getting shit on, dropping into a game, getting shit on. It's like, bro, this is entertaining. But the games where you pop off and you do successfully take out each squad,
It was amazing.
Oh, dude, like I think it'll forever be peak gaming to me. Is when I was just mopping the lobby, like just incredible. I can't stop smiling thinking about it. But he's like, play solo squads. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a few months because I knew it'd be just tough mentally to get shit on over and over. Doing that again, like you're in. It's hard to. It was harder to engage with my chat then, so it's almost like in the moment, people would only tune in when you were popping off, and it was hard to like engage. And it's important to hold a conversation, hold retention. You know, 'cause sometimes the game doesn't do that alone. Your personality kind of has to shine.
You're trying to concentrate on the game and win.
Exactly. So it was a kind of a trade off there in a sense. But long story short, I did solo squads, and I was doing well, and my title was going for 30 bombs. And for context, like the world record for most kills in a solo squad match at the time was like 36. So going through 30 bombs, it's a pretty tough feat. And
bombs are like kills?
Yeah, sorry. Game return kills. Going for 30 kill games.
Yeah.
That was my title, you know, just confident, whatever, you get clicks or whatever. Could have said going for 20 kill games, which is still impressive. Most people can't do that. And I setting in my game where I set my PR, my record at the time was like 21 kills, and I think this game I dropped 28. So it's set my PR, personal record by a lot. And one of the squads I killed towards the end, I had 24 kills at the time, and one of the squads I killed was lead singer of Panic at the Disco, Brendan Urie, his videographer, Jake Chams, good friend of mine to this day. Another huge YouTuber with 1 million subscribers, a few million, named Basically I Do Work, or Marcel. And then another previously was famous on Vine, like viral on Vine when Vine was a thing. His name is Jay Cyrus. But I killed them with 24 kills, and I had TTV in my name, which means TTV, so people would look you up. And this YouTuber guy who plays Fortnite, he's like a YouTuber that plays with Ninja, Tim the Tatman, all these huge world-renowned streamers, household names now, basically. He's like, this guy's title is going for 30 bombs. He has 24 right now because they're spectating me after I killed them. And they go on my stream, and I see my viewership jumping up, and it's like 50, 70, 80, 100
and you're like,
viewers.
what is happening?
And yeah, I didn't know who was live because they don't like.
Yeah, you didn't see the name.
Marcel's a YouTuber. Basically, I do works as a YouTuber, so he doesn't stream. And then Brendan, I didn't know who he was. And then this Jay Cyrus, I saw Jay Cyrus in my chat with a little Twitch partner badge. Because, you know, he's somebody on Twitch. And like, oh, you just killed me, yada yada. And then like, oh, you just killed Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco. I'm like, cool. I don't know who that is. GG though. Like, GG, good game. Yeah, so I was just kind of phased, like, oh, this is cool. I killed a partner streamer. That's awesome. Nothing really came of it that day. And then the next day, one of them was in my chat.
But you won. Okay, so you have to...
I won. Sorry, yeah, I won. I had 24 kills when I killed them. Dropped 28. My personal record ever.
You won. Everyone's like, what the heck?
Everyone's like, this kid is insane.
Yeah,
like nice.
Yeah.
So they were impressed. So from that, like the next day, I think I had maybe 25 viewers when I went live. And then the other guys would go live, or Jay Cyrus, I think, who was the actual streamer at the time, he would go live and pull those viewers from me. But people knew. There was recognition. It was like, oh, this Jonah guy he's good. And I can't perfectly recall how I followed up with them. I think I DM'd one of the guys saying, yo, can I use your content that you're streaming to post this on YouTube? Because I realized after my stream who Brandon Urie, who Panic at the Disco was.
Yeah, like so you almost wanted to like reassure, like if I
I don't want to I don't want to steal his content or be because there's like a weird fine line of like fanboying and trying to use them for clout. Like that's a weird like unwritten rule.
Yeah, so you just
don't
wanted
to
like
So yo, can I use this? Like this was like a sick moment. It was my personal record. It was your guys' live reactions. And he said, go for it. And I think that's how I got in the DMs of one of them. And I think he invited me like a week later. I was still doing solo squads, going for 30 kill games, and I think he invited me a week later. And at this point, it was say 10 to 25 viewers just coming in and watching me do my thing. Maybe have me like open on another tab or another screen while they watch the streamer that came from. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then they got me in games with Brendan again. And Brendan, I love this man to death. we just hit it off, and he's like.
He like invited you. He's like, let's go play.
He basically, he's a musician and he's not good at games, and none of these guys were great. The YouTubers are pretty good, but these guys are all, they're entertainers, they're comedians, they're videographers, they're just shooting the shit. And I ruined their game, the one game, whatever. But they invited me, let's get Jonah to carry us. And I'm like, okay. A little nervous, because now I'd Googled who he was and like who these people are. Like, oh my, okay. This is terrifying, but it was like, whatever, I'll hold my own and I'll just talk about the game. I don't need to like converse. And they're like entertainers at heart, man. They're hilarious. They're using voice changers. They're cracking jokes, one-liners, movie references, the whole nine. Like, they're funny. Like, there's moments I'm just dying, basically pissing myself laughing while I'm just shitting on the entire lobby. They all have 0 kills and I have like 20. Like, that was it for whatever. Played with Brendan, and I just DM'd him after on Twitter, and the guy has like 2 million. And I said, yo, man, it's me, Jonah, and I was like, GG's today, like, good games, and that was awesome, appreciate it, hope you had fun. And then he's like, dude, let's do it again soon sometime. I was like, bet, is there any better way to get hold of you? And he just slides me his number. And I'm like, I know this guy's like a world renowned.
Yeah, you're like, you could have just like leaked.
And I knew this at the time, but I could have leaked for sure, but I think.
But no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he trusted you enough.
Exactly, and I think it helped that I didn't know who he was, and I said, guys, I don't know who Panic at the Disco is. I don't know any of this. I don't know their hits, nothing.
Yeah.
Until after the stream. But I think it helped that I just didn't know. And I think he just saw some wholesome kid that was good at games, and he probably saw the want and the ambition and the passion that my mom saw.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hell yeah. And I don't think he was ever thinking, let's help this kid out. I think he knew that. He's obviously, the guy's been famous since he was like 18. Like, he knows his impact. But yeah, then he gave me his number, and honestly, the rest is a blur. It was every day this is in 2019 we met.
Yeah.
Virtually we met. In 2019 we met, and I think we played through COVID, maybe 2 years into COVID. So it was probably like 2.5, 3 years.
And how many people, you were saying like maybe 25 was like, how many people did you go to a day?
I think I went from an average of 13 viewers before I met them to the next month I was averaging 150.
That's a lot for Twitch, right?
That is a lot for Twitch. Twitch is very like bottom heavy. It's like there's millions of streamers under 5 viewers. And then once you get up into the...
Like, what's a lot for Twitch viewership?
Depends. COVID times were crazy because everyone was inside.
That's all, yeah.
Top streamers at the time maybe at 50K. And then, but it's few and far from, like from 50K to 10K to 1K. Like there's...
Yeah, it wasn't like...
Not a lot. So 100 plus viewers is like insane. Most 100 plus viewers streamers are full-time streamers. But there's a weird... If you have 150 plus viewers, you still gotta get people to subscribe, which is financial. Like, viewers don't do anything. You make pennies off ads, but it was the subscriptions that were the money. And subscriptions, like a Netflix subscription, you pay $5 a month, and their thought process is, oh, I really enjoy watching this guy. It's a form of entertainment. This guy's really nice. I want to support him. He's funny or whatever. You know what I mean?
So how many subscribers did you have?
Went from making, like I said, $100 a month, maybe let's say 200 generously if somebody was very generous one week. But before I met them, making $100 a month, $50 a month, whatever, inconsistent, to I think 3 months later. Should I say numbers or is that bad?
Dude, I'm down to your numbers. I don't think it's like...
I don't think money's a weird thing like that.
No, but I think...
To put it in perspective how fucking insane it was.
Yeah, but also too to like understand like this is actually a thing.
Yes.
Like, I don't think people understand.
People have no idea.
Yeah. So that's what I'm... So yeah, say numbers. Yeah.
Okay, it went from $50 a month to May of that year. So I think I met him in March 2019, and then in May, so 3 months later, I think my Twitch payout was $15K US.
15?
15, 15.
A month?
For that 1 month of May, yeah.
And is that consistent or did it increase?
That was my peak. So I was like, holy shit, I made 20K Canadian in 1 month. Wow. Like, this is insane from nothing.
Wait, did you say 1,500 or 15,000?
1,000.
Holy shit. I heard 1,500.
In the 1 month. So like...
You're March, like, what? At that point, you're like, what?
The latter half...
US, right?
It was like 15K US, yeah. So it was like 20K Canadian-ish.
Wow.
So I was like, holy shit. Like,
you're
what
like,
is... But I didn't even know. But it was like... I was like, Mom, I just got every day I would go out for dinner after my 9-hour stream with Brendan, and I was like, dude, I made $1,000 today, like every day for like weeks. And my mom was like, Jonah, like keep going, like keep doing your thing.
Was she just like shocked almost? Like
she was shocked.
Do you remember the day you told her like, Mom, like I made $15,000 US in the month from gaming? Like, was she just like, what? Like this?
At that point, she had heard my numbers because she was like, I didn't want to impress her, but I wanted to like, Mom, it's working.
Like reassure her.
I wanted to reassure her, like, Mom, it's working. It's good.
Yeah.
Like she could tell because I cut back shifts at Pizza Place to the point where I quit.
Yeah.
Not like a bad way. I said, guys, it's working out. Like my plan was to deliver pizza till streaming did its thing. If it did its thing, you know, and if it didn't work out, I'd still deliver pizza and figure something out. But yeah, it was from I met them. It was just those few months after were insane, and then it obviously fizzled out. And another thing I wanted to touch on with you is like, not the adversity. You mentioned the word adversity earlier, and I'm fully well aware that I am very privileged and just fortunate to be in the position to have the time to like beyond almost to a fault. Like, I feel almost guilty of how privileged I am to even just have the option to pursue this, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Well, I think adversity is like very dependent on the person.
True. It's all
right. It's all perspective.
Exactly.
Right?
But it's funny. Actually, rewind. Crazy month happened, and I maintained. I didn't maintain that. That was like peak month. I also got hosted in that month by Tim the Tapman, the big streamer, for 18,000 viewers. So like my name was getting spread, and I was getting in games
like from other people.
From other people, and Brendan's a celebrity in the real world, so celebrity gamers know him, so he would invite me to games with them.
Yeah, and they're like, yo,
Tim the
look at this
Tapman,
guy.
biggest streamer on Twitch right now.
Yeah.
Like, Jonah, come get squads, come carry us, and he would throw me in there, which obviously he knew would help me, but he also wanted me in there because I think he enjoyed playing games with me. And I was just a wholesome kid. I didn't bite off more than I could chew. I wasn't like, again, like I wasn't there for clout. Like, it was a byproduct, but it wasn't like I'm gonna steal your viewers and you know, you're gonna make money. Like, whatever.
You just wanted to play games.
I just wanted to play games, man, and these guys were hilarious, and obviously it was like a win-win.
Yeah.
Like, they were winning games, they like winning games because that's hard for them to do in Fortnite, and my stream was popping off, and I was carrying people, and they would also lower my skill-based matchmaking in the game, so the lobbies were easier being with them. It was great. But also, during those months as well, I was going for my personal record, and I was kind of going for the world record, right? The 30-plus kill games. Yeah. The 2-3 weeks after I met him, I dropped 28 when I met him. A week later, I dropped 31. And then after that, at 34. And I think 34 was my personal record. And the world record at the time was like 38. And the next week after that, I was like on pace for the world record. And then I choked it. But my point is, like, the universe was just like blessing me. I don't know what you want to call it, manifestation. It was hard work beats opportunity, luck, whatever you want to call it. I called it luck for a long time, but over the years, I've kind of realized it's like, you work for that shit. There's a reason you held those viewers that long. That's the reason you held 100+ viewers for 2.5 years after. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or 2 years, whatever the timeline is. But yeah, just crazy things, just the stars aligning, and him helping me out with bigger streamers, getting me partnered on Twitch, which is partner on Twitch. It was affiliate partner. Partners average 75 viewers. So it was like all 2019 I was grinding for that, and then I think it was early 2020 I got partnered on Twitch. Was like, it's a pretty big milestone.
People could like tip you, right?
Yeah, they could donate directly to my PayPal, or they could subscribe on Twitch, and Twitch takes half.
What's the biggest tip you've ever received? Like,
there are some very
wealthy people.
Wealthy, I don't know, but I was always like, guys, I am good. Like, a lot of streamers, they milk it. Like, let's run a subscriber-a-thon. I'll extend my stream 24 hours if you keep gifting subs. Like, I'll run giveaways if I hit 100.
You were just like, I'm good, guys.
I'm like, I've literally. It almost worked out. It's hard to talk about this because it might seem like arrogant, but I was like, guys, I am good. Like, I'm in my mom's basement.
Humble about it.
I was very humble about it, but almost like reverse psychology. They're like, oh, he's so wholesome. Let's give him more money. And I'm like, guys, like, I am beyond blessed. Like, I was constantly, it was like, thank you. You don't have to do that. Thank you. You don't have to do that. Like, if you take care of yourself, help your family members out, buy your kid a gift, and then do it, sure. But like, please, like, I constantly preach it every day. Yeah. There's some days I wouldn't sleep because like I made a bunch of money.
Feel guilty a little bit? To
this day.
Yeah.
To this day, I feel guilty. Like, there was a day I think I made like a few grand, one of the whatever PR days.
Like 3,000 or something like that?
Something like that, 3,000 US, something like that.
And you're just
I was like, dude, what? It was probably that month of May. And I was like, what is going on? Like,
you just
I don't need
fathom
this.
It. Yeah,
I don't need it. I couldn't fathom it. Like, I was like, there's obviously the human part of me. It's like, great, I need money.
Triple your rent just in that day.
Like, what? Like, like a party, obviously, like, every human's greedy, but like, I was like, yeah, this is awesome and I need this. Like, obviously, I'm enjoying that they're subscribing. I was like, guys, this is like overkill, man. Like, I don't have a mortgage. Like, I'm so, I was very grateful, but there was times I felt guilty. Yes, there was never like I'm gonna milk them. It was always the other end of like, I feel bad. Like some of these people are way less fortunate than me, and they like, you know, some people are depressed and you get attention from streamers and the viewers when you give subs and all that, and it's like a weird revolving door. It's like I give subs, the streamer shows me love, and the chat kind of likes me, and it kind of just, you know, it's a weird. It's almost Twitch is kind of toxic in that sense where people that give money are rewarded, and then it kind of like funnels and it spirals, and it can be dangerous for some people because you get attention from it.
So like what would be like a tip? Like if somebody gave you like they wanted to give you a tip, like what would that look like? They just give you money? Like how does that work?
Dude, there's people that are so thoughtful and generous where like I would say, oh man, I really want pizza for lunch, but like my fridge is empty for meal prep or whatever, and
you were just talking. You weren't like
not even like there would be streamers that say that hinting like, oh, I hope somebody donates 50 to order Uber Eats. But there are people like they would donate $40 and say for pizza tonight. And I'm like, bless your soul. Like bless your soul. Like that's not the point, but there's just every which way, man. Like the list goes on and on and on. There's some people that gave me a bunch of money to help me pay rent for multiple months. Not like specifically for rent, but that's what it would equate to. And there's other people that would, I have a few dollars left in my paycheck. Here you go, Jonah. Thanks for entertaining me throughout the day. Like just a wide variety.
What was I just want to like, I'm asking this question because I just kind of I want to have people understand, like fathom like what gaming actually can create. Like the money, like what would be the biggest donation you've ever gotten? Or I guess it was
gaming could create from a career, financial, fiscal standpoint. That's what you mean?
Yeah, like I think people like when we look at like traditional jobs, right? We look at like a lawyer, a doctor, whatever it is. Like a lot of people, I don't think looked at gaming as something you could do full time, right? Like I think that has become very more popular. Like you know I don't remember growing up being like, hey, I'm going to be a streamer when I grow up.
I had the thought of being a YouTuber when I was in like grade 7. I maybe should have said that.
Oh, I see.
But then a buddy of mine, baseball buddy, flamed me and showed a bunch of girls my one video I made, and I deleted everything, quit. Anyways, let's decide. I had the thought earlier.
But you know how like there's like have you ever seen those like packages of like those like for kids where it's like be a streamer like as a kid?
No,
it's like that was never a thing.
No, it still isn't probably.
Oh, it is. No.
It is now?
That's a thing, man.
Okay,
you'll have kids that are like their parents will be like, yeah. You have like, hey, what do you want to be when I grow up? And the kid's like, I want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah. I guess.
Whereas like
But you know your point though. There was none of that.
Well, yes. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like, I think I just want you to like vocalize and like what would be like what was a huge donation where you just like, holy shit, this is like
I remember the first time his username is Blindy. I don't talk to him this day. First name Christian. I know where he's from, and he was one of my early viewers. I remember he donated me $50 once, and I was like, dude, that's like my first ever donation.
Yeah.
And it was insane. I was like, bro, what? Like I was mind blown, speechless for days. I messaged him constantly, thank you, dude, thank you. Like, what is happening? But that was like a eye opening. I was like, okay, I kind of see. But I think the reason I saw like the vision or how it could become something is because I was watching these streamers and I saw like
you knew it,
the communities they were fostering. Yeah, like people made friendships in my chat room. My stepbrother met one of my viewers yesterday. True story. Yesterday because his name's Caesar and he was just a great guy. Always in my chat, helped out the chat. He was a moderator, so he could like ban people and keep it clean in the chat, right? Because people are wild on the internet and. Been friends virtually for 5 years. He was one of my early viewers before it popped off, and my stepbrother met him yesterday because he was playing ball in Texas, and that's where Caesar's from, is Texas.
Oh, cool.
So just like when you ask what can come from gaming, I think of the community aspect, but obviously the financial, it's a byproduct of it. As you know, I guess I don't want to say like as a streamer you're the facilitator of it, but you kind of are. Yeah. Like you set the vibe of your stream, you set the manners, you set the respect that you're supposed to give each other, and you know.
Well, and that's why I wanted you to talk about this story because, like, you know, I think I didn't want, and my reasoning for you to give numbers was also to like understand what the possibility is, and I don't think like you have probably said if you now told like back then if you had told someone like I'm making this, they would have been like, yeah, right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I wouldn't even have guessed that. Like, I wouldn't even have known that. Like if you
True.
like, I was just shocked right now when you told me that.
Yeah, no, it's
Like that.
I guess
to
I've
me
become
is, like,
desensitized to it because that's kind of my world.
exactly. But for the person that doesn't do it, like
Yeah,
it's
true.
like a holy shit. Like that's
True.
That's like that's actually a thing. Like
Yeah,
you know,
But I think
would have
it's-
never imagined.
It's weird talking about it in hindsight, right? Because if we had this podcast when I was talking, it would have been more. I would have. I don't mean to be like insensitive to the numbers. I understand that's an insane amount of money, but it's like it's. Then I was like, holy shit! It's like all I could think about. All I could like, what is happening right now? Like pinching
Yeah.
myself constantly. Literally, I feel like I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mean to be insensitive or like, oh, dumb it down. It's just, it's been 4 years since then.
Yeah. But that was part of your life though.
Totally.
Like that
Totally
you
it
lived
was.
and breathed it. So it's
Totally
kind
was.
of you just.
But it's also one of those things where it's like a high risk, high reward industry, as many are, like music or these
yeah.
non-traditional routes. It's like
Not
you can pop
everyone-
off and make a shit ton of money for a few months or off one song or off one YouTube video, but it's the inconsistency. So I always like, describe it as like, could have gone the school route, be miserable, but then get a good job that gives you security and, you know, salary and whatever, consistency,
Yeah.
income-wise. But I was like, no, I'd trade any day to do something I want and I'm passionate about over some meaningless job that I'm just doing mundane bullshit for. I'd trade the lack of security and the inconsistent income or the no income over, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, like your passion.
Exactly. All day, every day.
Yeah.
And I encourage everyone to do that. I think it's, candidly, I think the other way is, it's miserable in my opinion. I feel like you're just living just to kind of feed the system and that's it. But if you're passionate about one of these traditional jobs, fantastic. That's amazing. You know what I mean? I just wasn't. Like, I'm not,
Yeah, that wasn't your.
you know, it wasn't, maybe one day it will be. I'd totally go back if, you know.
So you did that for how many years?
2016, let's call it November 2016 to November 2021.
And then you
So
had
2.5
gone-
of which were nothing. The other 2.5 were successful.
And throughout those 2.5 years where it's like super successful, things are going, let's say things are going financially well.
Okay.
Maybe not mentally, maybe
Mhm.
not. Like what shifted? Why? Because you don't do it now. Like I want you to kind of like, what shifted? Like what was the cause of you to get out of it? Because like, dude, that's a hard
Internet culture.
Yeah, but I can imagine it was a hard pill to swallow to walk away from.
It was, but truthfully, I'm not gonna. It was on the decline. So like I had my peak year. Say year was great.
Yeah,
I was living with my parents. Expenses were cheap.
Yeah.
Moved out. Got a nice place. Love this place. Right. Fortunate. And then it was coming to the point where it's like it was dwindling for sure. COVID was kind of like lightening up. People were going back to their jobs in person. They couldn't be on the internet as much. You know, viewership across the board on Twitch, myself included, was declining. But also, what I was going to touch on is complacency, man. Complacency is a bitch. Because peak month, I could look at my stats right now. Every month since then, stream less hours for the next 18 months. Complacency. Crazy, bro. That's one of the biggest things I learned. It's just like, sure, dollar amount go up, yay, this is amazing, but it's like you got to keep your foot on the gas. You need to like somehow tap into that hunger I had when I asked my mom for 6-12 months. That's
You
like
hit
the kicker.
it and then you just kind of were like,
I was like, oh cool, I made it.
yeah.
Nah, dude, this is like, now this is where you ramp it up. This is where you reinvest in I reinvested in my craft, but like, this is where you like double down. You hire help. You get a manager, an editor, a YouTube guru. You
didn't do any of that.
No.
You know
I did
what-
it on the tail end when the irrelevancy was kind of fading. I dropped from like whatever 150 viewers for a year, 100 for say another 6 months, and then it dwindled to like 80. And I think, but when I actually quit, it was 40 to 50.
How did you, like, first, why did you quit? But like, how did you make that announcement? Like, how did you make that decision?
I didn't make an announcement. I just kind of, I think I went on a trip. I went sailing in the Caribbean with my dad, and it was, every time I go on those trips, a couple weeks, you're out the water, you don't have service, you're in the sun, and you reflect. And I like to think I'm insightful and introspective, and I just, you know, you read a book and sit there and think. And I was like, I'm over this. I dread it. I'm
tired of
tired of it. It just wasn't fun. Internet culture was toxic back then. Cancel culture was like becoming a thing. I'm sure it's still rampant now. I don't really dabble in that corner of the internet anymore, but it was just like, watch what you say. You have to say this. If you don't say this, you're this. You know, you know what I'm touching on. It was just very filtered. It was exhausting. I felt like I had to like always be filtered. I couldn't even play with my in real life friends because they would say some words that my community wouldn't like, or vice versa. It's like I had to like filter myself and people around me. Not that I filter myself, I was still myself, but like I couldn't play with who I wanted to.
Yeah, because
at this point, like wasn't playing with Brendan and the boys every single day. We all had lives, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And people, I was a gamer at heart. Those boys have other shit. The videographer, the comedian, the musician.
So do you think a lot of gamers go through this?
Totally, 100%.
But do you think they're like, how was your mental health and stuff at that point? And how do you think their mental health is, and they're just how they're hiding it?
I think the big streamers that make it, they really make it, and they have the financials and the wherewithal to create a community, like in real life system, like a sports system. Like they got their routine, they got their wife, they got their kid, they got their pets.
Doesn't matter what they say. Their people are.
They're relevant, and they'll be relevant. I don't think I didn't deal with that to an extent, but some people just don't give a fuck and they say what they want now. But they're just so big that's like, if you hold 20,000 viewers, man, like people are gonna pay you.
Yeah.
Whether it be sponsors or whatever. But I mean, I just mentally, like, because streaming, you're inside for 8 hours or 4 hours or whatever, and you're constantly at screens gaming, and people grow up, and you want to go outside, you want to live life, you want to spend the money you made, you want to travel, and streaming is one of those things where if I go travel for a week, you lose a week of potentially getting subscribers or viewers. It's like one of those, you always have to stream. You can never take any day off. Maybe one day here and there. Like because in the next month, those subscribers, they don't renew. Yeah. And then, the subscribers, you kind of got to like, you're trapped almost. It's like a cycle of just being trapped. Unless you pivot when you're at the point to YouTube, vlogging, or some other sort of streaming or content. You know what I mean? You can branch off. Once you have the audience, you can branch off.
So at the end of the day, the reason you just didn't want to do it, you felt like you were like kind of censored in a way, like you weren't able to. Yeah,
to answer your question more concisely, not censored. The internet culture at the time, which touches into the censorship and all that stuff, just the
dynamic of it.
The dynamic. The game was getting boring, just because it's the same shit every time, really. Burnout, man. Yeah. Just burnout.
So
it's a lot of hours of playing games. Like,
would you have changed anything?
Absolutely, I would have. I have a lot of regrets. I wish I didn't. Well, number one, I had bad imposter syndrome. I still do, even by like the way I phrase things. Even by the way I phrase things sometimes. Like I said to you, I don't feel worthy of being on this pod because it's like I don't do it now. I wasn't crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like shit like that. It's imposter syndrome. I don't really give myself the credit maybe I deserve. I don't know. I wish I didn't have imposter syndrome back in the day because I would have reached out to these big streamers I play with. Like they said, I'm down to game. They added me. They followed me back on Twitter. But never reached out once. I would have capitalized on that. I would have sought out an editor or somebody that could help me with other content to branch out to YouTube.
So you didn't have to do it on your own. And...
Yeah, or I wish I put the pedal to the metal when it counted, as opposed to like, wow, I did this. That's cool, and then just kind of get lax. And at the time, I was like, oh, like I'm losing viewers. Like it's this other streamer's fault. They're streaming at the same time as me. Like you kind of get pity party. You compare yourself to mutual friend streamers. Yada yada. But at the end of the day, man, it's just I took my foot off the gas. I stopped innovating my content. I stopped pivoting and going to trending games, maybe perhaps. I just got complacent. I got comfortable. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Would you ever see yourself streaming again?
I would love to. I would love to. There's just still a taste in my mouth about it. And it just, I can't do it casually for some reason. Like there's a block. Like if I do it, it's like you were once good at this, making good money and successful. And it's like, I just can't do it casually now. I don't know. There's a weird, I gotta go to therapy for it or something. But I would love to. I would love to somehow, this pivots into the trading, investing thing maybe. I would love to somehow, or fitness even, combine them eventually. I don't know how, but I just feel like in my lifetime there's going to be another phase of gaming, something in that industry. Content creation, whatever. I would love to. It's in me, man. I still watch streams all day.
A pause on that right now.
A pause, maybe it's indefinite, or I don't know.
So you ended it, you stopped, you kind of just there wasn't really like an announcement like I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I would stream like, I'd say I'm done, guys, I'm going to pivot. And this is when I was interested in the stock market, cryptocurrency, trading, day trading. And towards the tail end, I was kind of interested in that. I had a buddy who told me to buy Ethereum, and that's kind of what you know, it's kind of, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, trading school, but I never like thought to do it, except it's like the hardest job ever and all that, right?
So that year after though, you finished streaming. Was that a hard year?
No.
When you stopped gaming, like when you stopped.
I didn't stop gaming. I just
no, but stopped. Yeah,
when I stopped streaming. No.
Wasn't no.
It was. I don't want to say relieving, but it was like, okay, I'm back to my asking my mom for 6 to 12 months. I'm back to my fresh start. This is my new skill I want to learn, trading. How do I do it? Structure that. What's my Twitter feed going to look like to follow good traders? What YouTubers are going to subscribe to learn shit? What's my schedule going to look like? How am I going to take care of my mental? Because mental is very important in trading. How am I going to... It was back to square one. And it's almost like I like that the most.
So when were your darkest moments? Was it during streaming?
Tail end of streaming, probably.
At the end?
Tail end, numbers are dwindling. And it's hard as a streamer. You look at numbers. It's all quantified metrics of success.
Yeah.
And, you know, income's down. Viewership's down. You see your Red Arrow average viewers every month is going down. That eats at you.
Even though you're making money still, you were like...
Yeah, but I knew it wasn't covering expenses then. It was, you know, I was making a few grand, okay, to say, not even okay with grand here. But luckily I'm smart with my money, so I wasn't like screwed. That's why I think it's been an easier process because I was smart with my money. I didn't like buy a car or any stupid shit. If anything, I was too generous to other streamers when it was happening. But that's a whole nother story.
Now that year passes... You shift a little bit. Like what do you do now?
What do I do now? Well, November 2021, I was like, I came home from that trip, right? And I said, I'm going to quit streaming. And I was like, I want to learn how to trade. I want to invest. I want to hit up my buddy.
Do a little bit of fitness?
Do a little fitness, yeah. It was actually towards the tail end of streaming. I got my personal trainer certificate or whatever, all the certs and all that, just to
have it.
Just to have it and to learn. Yeah. Just because I think... Yeah, I was like, I need to learn something. Not a lot of things pique my interest. I'm not one of those people with a lot of hobbies or interests. If anything, I wish I had more. But the things that do, I've learned to double down on and dive into it because why not? Like, you have nothing to lose. And then fitness, I actually considered twisting that into streaming, like doing live streams and answering questions about forum and all that stuff. I thought about that. I thought about getting an app with all my workouts loaded into it, and so people can like subscribe to the app. I thought about ways to do that, but I was like, and then I realized I just don't like sales anymore. I don't like, because streaming, you're kind of selling yourself. You're keeping a persona to make people like you, and then, you know, that would just be the same thing with fitness. And gaming was a passion. I made it a job. Kind of had a bitter taste in it made me have a bitter taste about it. I didn't want to do that with fitness, and I still love fitness to this day. I still watch every Chris Bumstead video there is. You know, I don't want to make fitness a job. I don't think I ever will. Sure, if a buddy asked me to write him a plan, I'll buy me lunch.
You like it for your own time. You don't want to kind of mix with it.
Yeah, it's been the highlight of my day for the last 4 years. Easy, without a doubt. Always will be.
You go every day?
Yeah. Active rest days. But
yeah. Good for you, man. I don't even do that.
I love it too much. I can't.
That's where I run into it. Is like because I do it for a living.
Totally, which I don't blame you, and I don't. It's you know, but you also love it, like. I think you love that you do it for work. I think you love that you help people.
Yeah. This is why I do this now.
Exactly.
Because
you branch off.
You need to pivot.
Totally.
You can't keep doing that.
You totally got to pivot, but it also blends. Like, imagine a day where you're a full-time podcaster, and then once a week or however often you do it, like once a month, you have a fitness guy on. You're like, I love this shit. You know what I mean? It's a refresher, basically. Which is, I think. When you say, will I ever go back to streaming? Do I want to? Yes, I would. My refreshing period is not over.
Yeah, because you did it so hard for so long.
9 hours a day, every day for 3 years, basically.
That's what I'm finding with this, too, is like taking a step back a little bit. Not so much like take a step back in person, but more providing like different value.
Yeah.
In ways that are able to... go back to the foundation of like why I actually started is to like help people get better at their physical health. Like I think a lot of the last, especially for me, and you might feel and understand this, but the last, like I would say 4 years, I've been doing like personal training day in and day out, 10, 12 hour days.
I've been following, like I said, I don't use socials, but whenever I see you, when I talk to you, I can tell. Not in a bad way. I see it. I can see there was passion. It starts working. You get promoted a few jobs. You've seen success. Great. That's when it happens, man.
Yeah.
But it's also understandable, dude. It's 4 years of the same thing. Like, it makes sense, bro.
Well, and
but I think it's fantastic. And I've said this to you before. I think it's great you're doing this. I think it's great you're pushing socials, whether it be podcast or fitness or a bit of both, whatever. Literally does not matter. Start a cooking channel, bro. Apron, boxers, guns out.
Are you gonna come with me?
Throwing some tomatoes in the pan. Like I said, when I'm deeper into my cut, I'll definitely do some apron cooking with you. But I love it, bro. Like, that's the way to. It's a pivot, and it keeps it fresh. That's my
and
point.
it does, and like, you know, it's.
That's a funny idea. I'd watch that shit all day. It's big screen.
Yeah, just cooking away, you know. But great, no, man. It's you know, I think with training, personal training too, you become an unsolicited counselor.
Yeah, I bet drawing the line's tough.
I still need to work on it.
You always will.
Yeah, I take on other people's issues.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I feel like I have to help them with that.
It's your responsibility.
Yes.
And you know if they might need something, you feel obligated to help them, but it's not your job.
Yes. Yeah.
Tough line to draw. I had the similar thing with streaming, because I talked about, you know, mental health and you know, I go to therapy. I love therapy. I love psychology. I love, you know, I like. It's eye-opening hearing everyone's perspective on it, but I talked about that openly, so people talked about it, and it was like a venting session. It's the line gets blurred, and that's another reason why it was exhausting. Yeah, it's tough, dude. It's really hard. Well, it all depends. Like, the line's different with everybody.
Yeah. Well, and that's why it's like I pivot to like more group, because like I can go back to like training people.
Yeah,
I can go back to teaching people. It's not
less personable.
Yeah, and
but it is personable.
It still is, but it's, you know, it's when I'm talking to someone one-on-one, they're gonna feel more open to be able to, like, you know, it's gonna be harder for them to open up when there's other people around.
Totally.
Right. And I'm not saying
keeps the topic fitness.
Yes. So, but now what I'm able to do by doing this is like, I'm able to like be able to help more people actually with fitness. And it was getting blurred between like, we'd do a little bit of working out, and then there was like chatting about whatever's happening, and it just, and like some sessions turn into like, you know, I felt like I was helping them more on their mental health and their issues that were going on in their life. Yeah. And I wasn't able to provide as much fitness value anymore, which I started. That's not your
expertise, really.
No, but like, I think because personal training, it's so literally has the word personal in it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like this person, and we just talked about this. I did another podcast, but about like fitness is one of the only industries, well, I guess streaming too, but you see someone, like it's a service that you see someone multiple times a week. You know, you don't go for your haircut every day. You don't go get your nails done every day. You don't get a massage done every day. Like you this is one of the only services that like you'll see someone like 3 to 5 times a week. And like you literally become like one of their best friends.
Yeah. I mean, it makes complete sense.
So if I saw you 3 to 5 times a week, and we're like,
you know everything about me, bro.
Yeah, and
you know about the guy that cut me off yesterday, and I honked at him, like.
Yeah, and you're like, and I'm like, Jonah, you're like, something goes wrong, or you know, you have a fight, or you have a disagreement with someone, or something sad happens, or what. I know about it. You're gonna tell me about it. You're gonna be
that bears weight.
Yeah,
in your brain, mentally, and it obviously takes up time in the session you have. Yeah. Do you? It's gonna be about you soon here. Let's go. I love it. Do you have clients where you can have this conversation with them and say, hey, so and so, I'd appreciate if we did this. I feel like you'll get more value. I get more value.
Well, that's why I pivoted everything recently.
But do you is your clientele the people you do train in person or virtually? I'm not too sure exactly.
I do both. Hybrid. Both. Yeah.
Do some of you? Is the relationship close enough where you can say that and they don't take it personally, and it's, you know?
Yeah, I think it's also really hard going back when you've already allowed it.
True.
So it's like if I've let someone for the last how many ever years,
it feels like forced to like close up in a way.
Well, it's one of those things. Like I've already let that boundary. Push. It's kind of, it's not past the point of no return, but there's some things that I'm like, you know what? I let this happen. Mm-hmm. I took responsibility. Totally. I didn't know at the time, and like, so there's definitely some scenarios where you kind of just have to like, there's ways of doing it without actually like, you know, pivoting the conversation, like, oh, like,
Yeah.
well, actually, let's talk about this, or like, oh,
Yeah.
actually, you know what, maybe we should work on this with your squat, and just
Yeah.
it like shifts, right? There's like tools,
Yeah.
but it's something that I've had to shift because it was, dude, 10, 12-hour days back to back.
It's a lot, man.
That's 10 to 12 people every Monday to Thursday.
10 to 12 different sets of problems or stories or whatever
Dude,
you want to call it. Man, it makes complete sense. Do you like knock yourself for dropping the boundaries? I don't think you should.
No. I
Okay,
think
good.
I
But
really
you're learning from it.
I really think it was able to help me build connections. Because
Sure.
like I really got deep with people, and when people get deep with you, like they, you know, they tell you,
And they tell their friends about you. Like it
yeah,
helps.
like
Totally.
you know, Jeremy's super like understanding, and I still hold that value no matter if I'm helping you talk, chat, or if I'm helping you with your fitness. But you know, I have to work on that aspect of it where, you know, there's only a certain line you can draw. And also too is like, at this point I don't need to also take everyone, you know, like that's also a big thing that I still
Proud of you for that one.
yeah,
That's a win.
dude. I was telling this to Calvin, like literally on the drive here, like I had to message someone this morning and say like, hey, I don't think I can provide you any more value. Like I think we should stop our payments. Yeah, like I'm like not because I love the person. There's no but I'm like, I don't feel like I can do this for you anymore. I think we've reached a point where it's like I just like nutrition wise,
it's not like a net positive anymore.
yeah. When we were talking, like, you know, we wanted to shift to like more doing like meal plans, and like I was like, I don't that's not my niche. Like I feel like I would have more value to you as a coach if I did it with my approach. And you know, I know that you want to shift like this, but that's not my philosophy. Like that's just not what but dude, that's like I said, that's hundreds of dollars a month that you,
yeah.
And I think that's where it's hard because, you know, I look at it as like I got into it as a passion, and then I was like, holy shit, like I'm making a living out of this. Like this is like
Awesome.
This is awesome. Like I can quit all my other jobs. I don't have to like, but now I'm trying to get back into like I can't just, you know, I can't just let like someone pour everything on in a session because I'm not actually helping them anymore.
No, but it's
for what they hired me for.
But from their shoes though, it feels good.
Yes, because dude, if I sat here with you and like, you know, we chatted about whatever, like
I'll vent right now if you want me
to. You know, but 100% you feel like, but then I started feeling guilty because I was like,
they hired me to train them. I'm not really training them. Yeah. No,
yeah.
I did.
And it was hard, like it's still a hard pill to swallow, and that's still something I'm navigating through.
Yeah. I think it's good, man. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
That's serious. I think it's fantastic. I think it's yeah, bro. I kind of want to come along with you guys on other ones. Yeah, I'll plug in a mic or two for you, bro. Come on. I'll provide some. I'll be useful.
You should come meet some people. It'll be cool. It just.
But I love to, man. I just like hearing stories about. I mean, any passion, not even passions, any path like of life, man. Yeah. It's one thing I'm grateful for streaming, man. I met a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life, and a lot of people with way different perspectives than I grew up. Because we're in Abbotsford, man. Like It's pretty closed-minded. It's pretty conservative. It's pretty traditional. Yeah. I think it made me a better person. Like just meeting all these people all over the world from multiple different countries. It's like, yeah, man. I think it's
more diverse.
It opened my mind. It's like I have more empathy. Like it's.
Well, that's why I'm so grateful for like having the opportunity to meet so many different people over the years.
It's amazing.
Well, you meet people, you build connections, you build relationships. Like I would never take that back. It's just I started drifting away from the reason why I actually started this.
Totally.
Right? Like I felt like I wasn't able to. I think I felt like every session was more about figuring out someone's hardship than was actually like being able to help them fitness wise.
Yeah.
And I don't like I said, I don't regret.
No, I think it's all gonna make you a better trainer, person, businessman, whatever you want to identify yourself as, but it's all gonna funnel in, dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've been in this situation before. I felt this feeling. Pump the brakes on it before it's too late or the boundaries crossed or whatever. I know, man.
Well, like,
you know what I mean? In 10 years from now, I'd be like, I remember that was an issue. Like, I've been a lot better at that. But you also, then you learn how to form the deeper connections without getting too personal to the exhausting shit, which is huge.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly it, man. Like, not everyone agreed with the shift that I made. You know, and that's
surprising. Nah, maybe not. I don't know.
But like, let's say
you don't like change.
So you're used to, coming to see Jeremy, and you're used to, like, me, like, being there for the full, like, hour. You can vent and say whatever you like. And now I'm like, well, I got to start groups. Like, I need to shift this for me. Yeah. And, like, I don't think I'm giving you enough value. Not that I don't think I'm not giving you enough value. I don't think I can give you the value that I know I can give you.
Yeah. It's more like more potent value.
Yeah, I'm like,
you're giving value, but it's not what
I know. Yes. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I'm not actually, like, really able to train you fully to, like, the capacity I know I can train you, because, and I'll take full responsibility. I let that barrier, but it's also I just learned this, like, in the last 2 weeks.
It's great.
And this is like, that's,
you feel better right now.
It's still fresh.
No, not necessarily about that, but you feel good about the pivot.
It's still fresh.
Okay.
It's one of those, like, I'm like, did I make the right choice? Like,
I think it's all the right choice. That's my thing. It's like it all is gonna funnel out how it's supposed to, in my sense.
No,
not
and But when you shift something so big, that.
Oh yeah.
But then you question, like, did I make?
Oh yeah, you question it a shit ton the first few months, 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and then it's like, okay, this is working, and then. I question it probably. So
I know it's better for me mentally and for me, like, physically, and, like, it's gonna be
that's the most important.
It's just that ego that's like, Jeremy, like, you were,
dude. It takes a lot of. This goes in what you asked me before the pod, but the going back to pizza. But you gotta, it's kind of swallow your pride and accept that it's gonna be tough for a while, but it's all for the greater good, your mental health, your happiness, your.
Well, dude, and, like, I took pay cut.
Totally.
Like, I'm not.
But the trade-off, in my opinion, is worth it. Even though it doesn't feel like it, it probably is.
Well, but that's the ego too. Like, okay, Jeremy, you're making less money.
It's worth it,
man. You're having more time off. Like, I think that's, like, such the value that I'm starting to see now. And, like I said, some people, haven't agreed, and I have to take that as, like, hey, you know what? I just got to be honest. Like, if I don't feel like I'm giving you as much value, it's like, how can I be true to myself and show up every day and actually be excited to help you if I can't even feel like I'm helping you to my full capacity?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Makes sense.
So,
what do you think? We want me to go in more or what?
Well, I think time. Yeah, we are like 15 minutes or so, but 20,
30 we can stretch.
There's a big shift, man. I'm gonna ask you about crypto now. We just talked about.
I think the underlying theme, though, is not to, like, give advice, but I think what's worked for me and what makes me happy and what makes me feel like I have no regrets is pursue your passion, man. No matter what anyone says, trust your gut. If it makes you happy, do it. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, your gut was telling you to pivot because you were exhausted, and you could identify things that were exhausting you, so you're pivoting. And sure, it's uncomfortable, but, like, it's all gonna work out.
Yeah, dude. Like, it was.
It's funny. I feel like I sound like an optimistic person right now, like hopeful, like the future's bright. But my brain is the opposite. When it comes to my own shit, I'm like, you're gonna be homeless in 6 months. All this shit, you know what I mean? Just kicking myself. But no, it's true.
No, but I get it, man. Like, it's like, leaving. Like I said, you're leaving. You're not making as much money. But, like, then I look at, like, I'd end my day 10, 12 hours and 60 text messages. Every single day.
I think I'd get a flip phone.
Every day, bro.
I'd be on prepaids.
Sometimes 100. Like, I literally would, like, wake up some days and I would have, like, 80.
That's how it felt during my whirlwind come up. It was like, dude, which is why I don't have social media now.
And like
It's just too much. It's too much. Like,
dude, that's text messages, bro.
yeah, I know, but just phone blowing up.
Yeah,
and just,
but like that's what I'm saying. So
that's
now,
wild.
now you think like now you got like Instagram messages, emails,
Oh yeah,
Snapchat, whatever platform you use, and it was just like I just like and that dude, like you said,
do you have a work phone?
No. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'll try to pivot like
Business card, work phone number.
Yeah, my
work
dude,
phone set
my
set
business
hours.
card has all my personal.
Something about though.
I'm, you know, I kind of look at it as like I'm not super like I feel like with the cell number thing is more in the aspect of if it's business wise, I usually give it out to certain people, but I usually
Your personal.
Yeah, but it's on a business card, but I'll tell people to email me.
Yeah, I was just getting at the point of like just separating it so you
Yeah.
can actually turn off that part of your brain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've thought of it. I've talked to a few people about it. I think we might like pivot on like my numbers will you can like I
You
didn't
can get a hold of me between 12 and 8.
that or like there's a way of, you know, putting a certain number but then it goes to your personal phone.
Yeah.
But it's a separate number, so it's
Yeah.
like it kind of separates it.
Little
but-
things like that, man. It clears your mind a bit.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of clutter, especially pivoting into the online content stuff. It's like, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and you will. Yeah.
Well, and that's
you
the
know.
thing, man. It's like I think there's, you know, with doing this kind of work, it's like you even know with when you did streaming, like it's never really a day off. Like
That's the biggest scam there is when it comes
Yeah.
when it comes to like, I think entrepreneurship in general. Speaking from my own personal experience, never a day off, ever. That, but it doesn't even mean like.
That's not a thing, bro.
No.
Like yeah,
That's funny. That's the saying. They're like, oh, people want to quit their 9 to 5 to be self-employed, but then self-employment's 24/7.
yeah,
It's like, but I'm doing what I want.
yeah. Well, and it's
Fuck
and
yeah.
you know it's so funny, man, because it's, you know, we look at like hours spent physical. Like so, if I'm like, okay, I'm at the gym from Monday to Thursday, like, well, you have 3 days off. Like,
Nah, bro.
like do today for like not that.
But some people have those jobs where it's like the blue collar man, like
Yes.
they just show.
Yes.
But then it's hard in a different aspect.
Yes. Exactly.
It's a
But
grueler.
it's very hard to explain.
Totally.
To someone that you know that has never experienced it. That it's not. It never really ends. It
No.
never really is fully. Even on Sundays, man, like I'll still get
no.
people texting check-ins, whatever it is. Like, you know, it's still there's still always that part of your brain that's always on.
Yeah.
And
I've been actually trying to prioritize that, like personally, like on like a Saturday, my girlfriend and I would just go to the park and like I don't check my phone for hours.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like for me that's huge.
it's hard, bro.
She calls me an iPad kid, which guilty as charged. But it's like, you know, it's like it's hard for me to get away from the screen. Like almost like it's like in me.
Yeah.
But I'm learning to appreciate like just laying at the park, man, in the sun, getting a little burnt. Like, oh yeah. So the
Hanging
first like
out.
30 minutes, I'm like,
Yeah, you're like, I need
I'm
a-
scratching, itching and scratching. But no, like then I settle in. I'm like, oh, I needed that day really bad.
Yeah.
That's something I've learned. But even like, yeah, I don't
But
know.
that's why I like podcasting.
It's great.
Because I
It's
don't.
inspiring too.
Well, I don't feel like.
Well, no, because we literally were having this conversation before we turned on the cameras.
So that's
And we
what.
could have just sat down without these beautiful mics in our laps and yeah, I don't know.
So that's exactly how I look at it. It's like this is something that I'm like, you know, I need this to be able to like keep going, you know, to still be able to like I still love doing the in person. I still like love doing the coaching on that, but this is also something that just gives me that little extra like here, you know,
Yeah.
keep going. Like
No, I
this
know
is
what you
something like I need to do that differently or
I think it's just the process of learning.
yeah.
I think that's also where the complacency ties in. You kind of just stop learning and then you're just in it. Revolving door, rat race, whatever you want to call it. That's what I call it, the rat race. Just a cog in the machine. But then the moment you start learning and pursuing something, trying to grow something, or like you're learning how to podcast. Like sure, you're like trying to grow the Spotify numbers, yada yada, but you're also just learning how to converse and all these things you don't even know you're learning, and it feels good.
Well,
You know?
and I relate with you on the fact that, you know, I'm not super popular podcasting, but like I'm just doing it don't care at this point how many numbers, and I have to be very conscious when it gets to that point when numbers are getting higher that doesn't influence me, because I know that from hearing this story and I knowing even Instagram, man, like I understand the following, like, you know, I don't have a crazy following, but I have a following
You're aware of it
on Instagram. Like, I'm very aware of it, but it's like I can see how that can just eat you up. Like,
totally.
And that's where
just even just waking up and like, oh, I only got X amount of likes. Instantly, you're in a bad mood.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what am I doing this? If you know how and figure it out, let me know. Not that I probably won't need it, but
I've gotten better.
I won't be doing number stuff. But yeah,
but I've also been doing Instagram for like 10 years for fitness.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's what my wish I did, is reach out to you like, yo, how do I hit these algos, bro?
I think
how do I schedule a post? Like all that shit I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was just winging it. I was just going live and praying.
Well, I think I have like 2,700 posts.
Damn. See, all that, I couldn't do it.
So
I don't know. I just hate it. I hate social media. I've even hated social media before I streamed. I was just, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit what so-and-so from my Bio 11 class is doing. Like, I don't care. Not even like a mean way. Just, I don't have the mental capacity to care about this, or even just ingest it in my eyeballs. You know, you're like,
yeah. Well, that's like, that's the thing with social media too. It's a very hard thing to get out. It's so helpful, but it's like not at the same time.
It's a double-edged sword, as all things are.
So now I try, and again, I say try with very like
loosely.
I try to look if there's anything I can answer, comments, whatever, messages, and I just try to get out of there like as fast as I can, because I get sucked in, man. Like, it's so easy
to the comments and messages.
No, to videos, bro. Like, I scroll.
Like personally.
I'm like, oh, look at this.
Oh, bro. You know how many cat videos I watch a day on Twitter? Dude, I shit you not. Like 30 tweets in a row. It's cat videos. Oh, look at this cute kitten. All this, right? And I'm like, send it to my girlfriend. Just constant cat videos. And it's like, the Vancouver Canucks are calling up so-and-so. And then it's just, dude, all day. I'll just scroll cat videos all day. I love that shit. But it's bad because it sucks you in.
Oh, dude, it's so sucks. Yeah. Yeah,
one thing, if I were to go back to streaming, sorry to pivot back to my main here, it's to almost like gamify. Like if I did like YouTube, to gamify it, like, you know, Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber. Yeah. He on podcast, he talks about how it's like his main goal is to make the most entertaining videos possible for YouTube or on YouTube, whatever it is. But it's like he looks at it as like I'm gonna figure out this algorithm in that sense. So like when you go and check your post on Instagram, you see, oh, I only got 50 likes. I used to get 80 last week. Almost don't even look at the posts. Or like, you just look at your analytics and be like, okay, what do I notice in these different days where I get more likes, or what time was it? You know what I mean? I'm sure you've done this, but just kind of gamifying the algorithm and kind of like, almost like approaching it like a robot. Okay, algorithm, do you like this? Feed it this type of post, this type of time, this type of reel. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, you don't like that? Spits it out. It gives you 10 views. Right? You know what I mean? Almost like gamify it in that sense. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
That's the way. The one thing I know is Mr. Beast podcast. Like I said, I like podcasts, and anyone pursuing something cool is interesting to listen to, in my opinion. But I almost think his view was just like, yeah, what's gonna hit?
Well, that's such a other like avenue, bro. It's like,
it's never ending, man.
Well, dude, isn't. And I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, I just want to put content out. I don't like, at this point, I don't really.
And then there's that argument. So you gotta find the balance of like, make content you like.
Yeah, well, because then I'm like, if I'm always constantly making content I hate, I'm just gonna, like, what am I? How is that helping me?
Or anyone really? Because they can tell it bleeds through.
What's what I'm saying? If I'm always like miserable making a piece of content, so it's kind of like, you know, there's that line you have to draw, but it's like, actually, you know what? I really liked this piece of podcast. I really like this format of writing, because like I actually, if I read this, I would be like, oh, that actually I like learned something, or like it actually like motivated me, or like, oh, I didn't think of it like that. Yeah. So,
that's what this is, right? The podcast.
Well, yeah.
This is the type of content you like to make.
Yeah, because man. It's like, I made Instagram, dude. Like I said, if you divide the amount of posts
for how long you've had your account,
years.
Oh yeah, man, I can't.
Dude, and every single day, there's a point from like
2017. I want to ask you questions. I'm gonna start a podcast now.
Ask me a question.
You're gonna be my first guest. When you were posting grinding? Maybe it's all automated now. I don't know. I know you schedule posts. I assume.
I used to.
When you're on the ball and shit. Like you get up and like edit and like this is what I'm gonna post right at the caption.
I can't even that era of time was a blur. I used to post like 4 times a day.
Damn.
I don't even remember.
And I know you write like to like a splurge.
Yeah, so like that's why I got Calvin. Calvin's like the man. Shout out to Calvin.
Do you mind if I ask, do you pay Calvin or no?
I pay Calvin, yes.
Good.
Yes.
It's good though. I think it's a good move.
Yeah. No, like so like me and Calvin was like
You're the dynamic duo?
Yeah, bro.
I feel like I doxed Calvin because I had no idea he was behind the scenes. Sorry, buddy.
No, Calvin's
you're
like
a handsome devil too, I might add. You're a handsome devil.
Shout out to Calvin.
He's blushing, guys, just saying.
No, but like yeah, for sure. Like me and Cal, like I'll tell a story another day of me and Calvin. But like we met at it was kind of a funny like way. We met at his house in a way that like it just kind of aligned.
You just stumbled into his house and met him? How does that work?
Oh, my girlfriend, like their friends.
Your mutual friends.
Mom. Both their like moms are friends. So,
okay.
Like then Calvin like walked in the house and I was like, "Yo, what's up?" Like we just started chatting. We spent like till 2 a.m. talking, like
That's
just
fantastic.
about like business and like
Yeah, I love that.
and then it just and then I was like, "Dude, you should do this. That's a job."
Is that why you asked me about crypto now? Because he was on the other end, kind of feeding you crypto stuff, or no?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So like that's why I was like kind of like shifting and it's a good. I don't even know what we were talking about before, but you asked me a question. How I met Calvin, or
I have no idea.
Instagram, how much I was doing.
I just wanted to know what your like routine was like. We don't have to talk
Dude,
about
I was
but...
I was like.
Was it early morning, or were you the day before scheduling it? Caption made.
Weeks, days before, from 2017 to probably 2021 is when I hired my first person to help me, and then then we worked together for a bit, and then she like did something different. Then I had someone else. Then didn't really work out. Then I had someone else.
It's hard to find somebody that's
didn't work out, and then now it's me and Calvin. So it's like I've gone through like 4 people.
Totally.
Like so like not every single post that I've ever made has been like obviously I've been in it or like
was it you?
But
all these accounts aren't the people. All these accounts aren't the people. I'll tell you that for free. Yeah. But no, it makes sense, man.
So yeah, I would say for like 3 to 4 years I posted every single day. Didn't miss a day. Did not miss a day. Like when I tell you I have posted 365 days.
I believe you. I remember when I had Instagram, I was like, dude, this guy's on that shit.
Like I was
on that shit.
And I was tired, bro.
I believe it. Sounds like you might still be a little bit tired.
I
That's okay though, man. Yeah. That's okay.
So now it's starting to shift, right? Like it's more and more, and I think that's the one thing, is it's not overnight.
No.
Like, dude, this took like even now, me and Calvin, like about 6 months now, and then this last pivot I just changed in the last month or so.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not overnight. Even looking back on mine, man, I wish it was all blur. Like in the moment, it didn't feel. I didn't expect it to happen overnight, but like looking back, I know that 2.5 years and becoming successful, that's pretty overnight.
Well,
like 2.5 years is short.
Well, I think it's because it happened so quick.
Yes.
Right. I think that's the like there's that like you said, that's 2 to 3 weeks that you were just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Right.
But then now with trading too, like I pivoted to the trading, and like I said, it was exciting to quote unquote quit streaming or take a step away and start from ground zero, where it's like, okay, how do I learn? And I know I learn. I'm like a visual learner. I don't think this is why school didn't work. I can't read and like comprehend shit. They just threw me. But if I listen to it or see it, I just watch trading video, technical analysis, looking at charts. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I was like, how did I? But you want me to pivot and do it?
Yeah, because you already talked. Like, just we'll do like
And kind of my thought process, let's run it back. What's my next skill I want to add to like streaming? Cool, did that. Some regrets, some not. Could have done this better. Yada yada. Whatever. I'm burnt out for that right now. What's cool to me? Trading. Or actually, my thought process was, what's a job where I can like work from home, be able to travel, work? What's a job that's like sick like that? And trading's always been in the back of my mind. Not like a passion necessarily, but I think the lifestyle of it and the allure of it's cool. I was like, why not try it? At the time I was 27 now, 25, I think. And I was like, dude, I'm 25. Like, let's just run this whole learning a new skill, pursuing something different. Let's just run it back. And then how do I do it? You find a mentor, you find a trader you think is good or that is good and with proof, and I just immerse myself in it. I still am. I look at charts all day. And I think even if I'm not specifically looking for certain things on charts or taking certain trades, I'm still learning. I'm looking at price action, it's called. I'm looking at the candlesticks form. I'm looking at patterns. Even if I'm just aimlessly looking at it, I'm still absorbing it. I'm still,
When you start like charging people for you to invest for them,
I would never touch anyone's money.
not even if they were like, I want to hire you, Jonah.
No.
Once I was like, Jonah, I want you to like, I'll give you $2,000. You do with what you want with it.
It would bear way too much weight. Dude, handling my own money bears weight.
So like, it would freak you out.
Well, yeah, like trading is.
Like if I was
there's
like
a stat like 99% of traders lose money and they quit, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I told you before the podcast, I don't necessarily feel qualified to talk about it, but it's like my crypto investments have done well. Sure, it could crash to zero tomorrow. I'm not some crypto. Bitcoin's going to change the world, whatever. My buddy told me to buy it and it went up and it did well for myself. And I studied markets, bull market, bear market, where we go up for a few years and crash really bad. And I witnessed the crash and I was like basically betting on crypto going away fully or coming back. So I just kind of bought the bottom, and I've done well for myself in that sense. And I paid myself out, and I've thankfully, with the guidance of my buddy Nick, who told me to buy Ethereum years ago when I was streaming. He was a viewer on my chat, by the way. And he's from Kelowna. And he told me to buy Ethereum. And we had a mutual friend. I was like, okay, do some money. And a year later, I was like, oh, what's this? And then I said, teach me everything you know. Literally. And ever since then, he's not a trader, but he's involved in the trading world, the crypto world. And he's got his, he's in all the group chats and all the, whatever you want to call it. And I just said, whatever. Teach me everything you know. I'll be your intern. I'll be your bitch boy. That's literally what I said. I was like, and he liked that. And he was like, okay. And he kind of has like a litmus test. He's like, okay, like, go find some things you want to learn or whatever like that. And most people are like, yeah, I'll get back to you. Yeah. I was like, next day, like, I like the trading aspect of all this. It's like, I don't care about Bitcoin and holding it for dear life, and that's the digital gold. I don't care about that. I was like, I want to learn trading so I can trade stocks, bonds, crypto, shit coins, whatever it may be. I want to learn how to read the chart. I think there's skill in that. And I kind of embraced, like through streaming too, I just embraced that I was the fool and I knew absolutely fuck all. Mm-hmm. And even now I'm just like, I know nothing. So just absorb.
So your recommendations, if somebody looks into crypto, find someone that they can trust? Like, where does someone start? Dude, let's make it short, but like, where do you even start?
Crypto? Man? Can we not make it crypto? Just trading or investing?
Sure.
Or what do... Crypto's a buzzword, though. Let's say it more and people will click on this.
I think people just don't know any... Like, dude, I've asked, like... And maybe it's a generational thing, but, like, I've asked, like, people in their 40s or, like, even their 30s. I'm like, do you even know where to start with crypto? And they're like,
no.
I don't even... Dude, I've had it to the point they're like, I don't even know where I buy crypto. Like, I don't even know what
like
app.
Where isn't the app? Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't even know what app. I don't even know, like...
Dude, this is what I mean. Like, I don't know how to...
Like,
Coinbase, Crypto.com.
I've used BitBuy.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
It's a Canadian one. It's like...
Okay, I use ShakePay.
Okay, yeah.
You transfer money to ShakePay, you buy Ethereum or Bitcoin, and then...
I use BitBuy. So it's kind of like...
And you hold your coins on BitBuy?
Yeah.
See, that's one thing I would... As a pro tip, is you would want to get your own
thing, right?
I told you this.
Yeah.
You don't want to hold your coins on a centralized exchange because then that means you're exposed to third-party risk, which if...
They decide to...
If BitBuy? Yeah. If Bybit collapses, your money's gone.
Money's
they hold
gone.
The keys to your kingdom. They have your security phrase. Their... What's it called? Not your security key, not your coins. Not your keys, not your coins.
Yeah.
You want to put it in your own self-custody
your own wallet, right?
Exactly. So you have control of it.
Yeah.
And it's in your brain or whatever.
See, but and like I'm just...
You don't know that.
Not that I don't know that.
But that's not common knowledge.
That's not common knowledge, but also too, bro, I like...
You don't care.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. So like...
So that's
the
why
streaming thing was like...
That's why I would pay you...
Exactly.
...to do that.
But as somebody... Like, I'm not an investment firm. I'm doing okay for myself, sure. But it's like... Like, candidly speaking, I haven't had a year of like consistent profitability trading. Like my investments have gone up in great value, like significantly outperformed traditional RSP bullshit,
Yeah.
right? Significantly. That's done well for myself, and I've been able to pay myself and afford my bills and all that. But like trading the skill I want to learn, I am still an infant. Like to be consistently profiting and managing your risk, it's like I'll be a student for the next 5 years, and I'm down to be a student for the next 5 years. Because I think it's so, dude, if you could do that and keep your mental in check and control your risk, it's like gambling. People say it's like gambling, right? You got to control your risk, your emotions, all. If I could do that consistently, man, it's like the world's my oyster, really.
Yeah.
Could do it from anywhere, internet connection,
So
Starlink that shit in the middle of the ocean.
are you transfer my stuff for me?
Pardon?
Are you transfer my stuff for me?
What do you mean you're
into a wallet? So I'm not.
I think Calvin can probably help you with that. Yeah. MetaMask, Phantom,
Dude,
mobile app.
I don't even have like the mental capacity to even want to.
And most people
like,
don't.
Like look into it. I don't even want to do the research on it. I just
exactly. Most people don't, and it's not even. That's fine. You got shit to do. You got time. I was lucky enough where streaming bought me some time, a little financial cushion.
Yeah.
Just like how when I started streaming, I was under my mama's umbrella.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate where I had the time just to focus on this and this alone. Sure, delivering pizza, but it's not like I could pursue one skill and that's all I could worry about. And now, luckily, streaming, I'm rolling it over to trading, and I'm just fortunate I can sit down and focus on this new skill. And maybe trading will happen. I'll pop off. Hopefully, I'll learn something with the complacency thing and continue to be a student. But the next thing, what if I want to be a Royal Conservatory pianist? Like piano could be my next thing. And that's kind of how I see my life going, honestly. It's just like skill, get decent at it, somewhat succeed, maybe pop off even more. And next, I love that shit. I don't know, but like, I don't know how to give you a beginner's guide to crypto, man. I don't know. I like the trading.
Okay.
Yeah, but people hire people to manage their own money for them.
Okay, how about you just give us like some coins to look out for?
Oh God.
That's all. Like,
as they all say, disclaimer: this is not financial advice.
Yes,
this isn't lead. I don't know. I don't know shit. That's what I'm saying.
No. But if you're saying just coins to look at, you're not telling them to invest. You're just saying do research on this coin. That's not it. That's not financial advice.
I think you should do research on blockchain technology.
Okay.
Blockchain technology and smart contracts is probably what you should do research on, because that's the tech that speculators are hoping that the world will adopt. It's more efficient. Okay. It's more, let's say more efficient from like a software developing standpoint.
How about coins?
Coins.
What are some to research?
That's like a basic, just to understand, okay, why are people talking about crypto? Blockchain technology and smart contracts. That's like the big like selling point. Bitcoin would be your safest. People are saying it's like digital gold. It's scarce in value. It means the supply is limited of it, which means there's demand for it. Price will probably go up. That's not financial, but Bitcoin's the safe one.
Your research.
Crypto's very risky as is, but Bitcoin's the safe one. And then coins I like that have been user friendly, not confusing to use, very easy to on-ramp money and interact with it, are Solana. It's cheap, it's fast. A few big companies like Visa are partnered with them and all that. I don't want to name any other ones because it gets smaller and smaller. There's a few gaming coins because blockchain and gaming, that's a big argument. Yeah. And there's some cool games being built on blockchain where you can play and earn money. You can earn their coin. It's called Prime if you want to look it up. That's just it's very forward thinking in the crypto world. And I think a lot of people aren't good at that, and it's different and it's new. I ain't sitting here saying I really don't want to be the crypto bro, yada, yada, yada.
Well, that's why I just wanted you to kind of like.
But yeah, I think those are
good research tools to look up. That was all.
Yeah.
How about apps like to use to trade? I think that's
apps to trade. Trade like crypto. What do I use?
Yeah, sure. Let's just say like what I use. Again, this is not like.
I use Crypto.com and Coinbase.
Okay. And then.
To trade, like say for example, if I swing trade stuff or in my tax-free savings account, I would use Questrade. That's for sort of normal stocks. I think Robinhood is another. I think people have heard of Robinhood. Most people, that's normal stocks, and they do some crypto as well. Those are just very basic apps. Those are like the apps you see like in ads. Those are like the main
ones to start.
The easy to onboard, get money in, buy some stuff. Yeah. But yeah, only like for example, when my buddy told me to buy Ethereum, I had heard of crypto.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever. I knew it was a very volatile asset class. It went up crazy. Like you make a lot of money, but a lot of people get burned. Because for every one person that makes a shit ton of money, there's somebody on the other side of that trade getting absolutely wrecked. You know what I mean? So his thing to me when he onboarded me was only buy what you can afford to lose. If it went to zero tomorrow, you wouldn't lose it any minute of sleep. Like that was his big thing. And that's honestly, I think about that every day. Every trade I enter, I was like, if I lose, say I enter a trade, I want to risk $500 on it. I don't risk that much, but okay, $100. If I lost $100 in the next 1 minute, it'd probably sting a little bit. Cut it down, $50. You know what I mean? That number's different for everyone. Like my mentor who I hired, I think hiring a mentor is very important. Anyone that wants to get any new skill, hiring a mentor is very important. It's like a trainer. It's, you know, it can accelerate your process of learning. Yeah, I'm going on a tangent, but
how would finish off with like a few accounts
all over the place. I'm so sorry.
A few accounts that are good, that give good crypto info.
On Twitter, but it's mostly Twitter.
Yeah, let's just say Twitter.
This is another one. Don't take crypto trading advice from Instagram, TikTok, none of that shit. Horrible. I don't think I've seen one good post where it's actually good quality education. Absolutely not. All the coins they plug, dog meat. I'll just say that. Twitter accounts, Trader Main, he's actually local. He's very, very good at trading and just overall investment, market cycles, yada, yada. Cold-Blooded Schiller, another wise lad. He's from Britain. I don't know these people personally, by the way. These people I think have very good information. Yeah. It's good information feed. That's why I use Twitter. Crypto Don Alt is also very good. Very good. Just fundamental, again, markets, trading. Just also stocks too, not just crypto. These guys do both. Let's go with those three. Cool. That's the more trading, technical analysis, chart, good information. Setups.
Do you answer questions for people if they message you?
No, I like to be the person asking, honestly. I kind of like the dumbest person in the room. I'm always the one asking the silly questions. Like, can you just clarify this for me? Like, this is how this works. I ask over and over and over. I don't know. I don't feel qualified to. I don't know if I'll ever feel qualified to, though.
So are you going to plug yourself? Like, people can... What was your old Twitch? Like, if anybody ever wants to, like, look at your old...
If you want to look on Twitch, it's just Jonah. Jonah.
So you changed it?
I got as I was quitting, because in partner, you can request any username that's not taken, or if it's inactive. So somebody had Jonah, but it was inactive for like 3 years. As a partner, you can veto it and get it. So as I was quitting, I kind of just yoinked it just for the cute URL, twitch.tv/Jonah. Yeah.
What was it before?
SwanzzyJ. It was a play on my last name. Swanson Jonah. SwanzzyJ.
Yeah, because that's what I remember. Do you remember when I used to pop in?
Dude. Yes, I do actually. Your name is just Jeremy Longpert, right?
Yeah, and I was just like...
No, there's some usernames I can remember. I know there's a guy from Abbotsford, our city, that found me after I got hosted for 18,000 viewers. He came in. His username was crew_, KREW_, and he's from Abbotsford. I still think there's going to be a day I run into him and he's like, wait, you're that streamer. But usernames come in my brain is my point. I remember your username. I remember a lot of people, man, from... It's crazy. I wanted to touch on this too. It's crazy what happens when shit pops off and like people are coming to your chat. As opposed to like, I had to cut a lot of friends, man, that just talk shit and like discourage me. And I was like, I don't need this in my life. And
I remember I would come in just randomly sometimes. And I'd be like, yo, what's up, Jonah?
And I'd say, what's up, man?
I would be like, I would text Jonah.
Sometimes you come in when it's popping.
Yeah, and I remember there was a time I texted you and like you didn't answer. And I was like, shit, I gotta get a hold of Jonah.
All my friends, that's the only way they can get a hold of me.
Yeah, I was like, I can't get a hold of Jonah. Like, I'm just gonna see if he's on streaming. And I like remember popping in. I was like, Jonah, like answer your phone. Like,
dude, it's hard. It was
so funny.
Even like,
dude, somebody gave me a sub or something. I don't even know what.
Yeah, they gifted you a sub, which in other words means you subscribe to me. It costs $5 US to subscribe to a streamer.
Yeah.
They essentially gave you $5 US and you're a subscriber, so you get ad-free viewing, you get emotes in my chat, you get little badge on your name, all these little perks. And
I had I had no clue what it was, and I just remember like
all of a sudden, gifted sub.
Yeah, and it was just like boo boo boo, and I was like whoa, and then like all these features came out. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, Twitch has done a good job gamifying it, but yeah. Is there anything else? I'm sorry, dude. I feel like I just.
That's fine. Dude.
I feel like I spoke a lot too compared to most guests, and I don't know how I feel about it. And I don't know if I'll be able to listen to this podcast.
What do you mean,
bro? My girlfriend's gonna watch, and that's enough. I don't.
You have to. No, I actually talked a lot. You asked me questions. Not a lot.
Did I be honest, Calvin? Did I talk more than most guests?
Talk more.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, though.
I guess I'm insecure, bro.
It's okay.
Right.
You'll be on camera too.
Hopefully, there's a round 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I'm sitting here thinking about like, oh, do I look fat? Should I like? Am I parched? I like to mumble. I mumble a lot, so maybe I'm mumbling.
No, you're good, bro. It was good.
I hope it turns out well, but I appreciate you having me, man.
No, thank you. And I'm gonna do a little outro, but first, before I do that, is where can they find you? Where can people find you? Okay, so you said Jonah if they want to look at your old videos. I think it'd be cool.
Okay. Well, YouTube is SwanzzyJ.
Yeah.
SwanzzyJ. Silly, stupid. If I go back in time, I'd change it to more SwanzzyJ on YouTube. I'm sure videos will come up of
You streaming.
Yeah.
You playing. Yeah.
Me playing with gameplay with Brendan singing in my ear, the whole 9. And then Twitch is just Jonah, Jonah.
And then what about Twitter? Do you do anything on there?
SwanzzyJ on Twitter, but I don't really. I post the odd clip of me playing Call of Duty, but
Okay.
just kind of just shit posting now. I think my last tweet was "Holy shit, Canucks." Whoa. But you know, I'm not consistently posting there.
Yeah.
But no, if you want to the live streaming thing, Jonah on Twitch, hit follow. You'll get email notification if I ever go live. I haven't streamed in a year for what it's worth, but maybe one day you'll get it, and I'll be live, and
cool.
You can see it in action.
I like it. Cool. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, buddy, and thank you everyone for listening to episode 13 of the North Star podcast with Jonah Swanson. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and again, thank you so much, buddy.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me, man.
Appreciate
I hope everyone enjoys.
It'll be good.
And I hope it's good enough to have a round 2 one day when you're popping off.
100%.
When you're like, this is sponsored by Alpha Greens or whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
AG1.
And I'm just like.
And I'm sipping that shit. All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.